Welcome to Polished Pickup TV. I am your host, Trisha of The Polished Mage. I am very pleased to bring you all another episode of Meet the Maker. I'm so pumped and hyped. I would love to welcome Jill of Glisten and Glow to us. Thank you so much for doing this.
So welcome. Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this. It's such a great asset to PPU. I love it.
Yes,
It's awesome.
yes. So I'm just going to start off just a little bit of background especially for our newbies who are new to PPU and whatnot. Can you tell me how you got into being a maker and where does the name and stuff come from?
Absolutely. So in 1996, I was blessed to go to a private high school that allowed for time for me to become a nail tech. So in 96, I became a nail tech. And from there, I ran a mobile nail salon business called Glisten and Glow Mobile Salon. So I had started that, and then I went to college and I worked in corporate America for 10 years. And so I just took the name and continued with it through that process. And I don't do nails anymore, of course, but it's been fun that way. But where the name originally came from was I used to be a humongous Young and the Restless fan, the soap opera. And it was their brand for Jabot Cosmetics was called Glow by Jabot. So I was like, glow, what goes with glow? And I was like, glisten and glow, done. That's how it came about. As simple as that.
Oh my God. You just like unlocked all these childhood memories of my mom folding laundry. And I was just like, ah.
And Victor Newman's voice comes on,
Yes.
the soap opera. But yeah, it was a wonderful way to transition because you learn what works in the field. You have field experience being a nail tech and you see what works, what doesn't work, what products are needed in the market today, what's new, and that's obviously an evolutional change too, as, things happen. So that's kind of how it started. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I feel like in 96, having a mobile tech business, I feel like that is you were like light years away. I feel like what an early idea to have that.
Yes, I was at college. Especially when I went to college, like it was so hard for people because I was actually 15 turning 16 when I became a nail tech.
Oh my gosh.
Because my birthday is in early January and I graduated actually when I was 15. So I was the youngest person to ever do the program, if you will. So that's why, and I'd always told my parents for years, like, I want to either be a nail tech or a hairdresser. That's what I want to do. And they were like, clearly they had other plans for me. Like, you're going to go to college, little girl, like, that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, and it was really good, especially it really took off when you could customize like pedicure stuff and customize like the scents that I started out making bath and body products. So I could customize their scents and customize their scrubs and their lotions and doing all that. So that really helped. And then it helped for people I'm from Connecticut. So we're a very small little state. My whole state fits in the city of Dallas, Texas. So
that's perspective.
Right. So we're very small. So even though and like some parts are obviously more rural, and if people that were further out who worked in Hartford or worked in the big city needed someone, they couldn't just go after work if they were, lived far away. So I would go to them, and I did like a lot of nursing homes, like convalescent homes, and a lot of working professionals that were like 8:00 at night. Like, where you at, girl? Like, like that,
That's
so
amazing.
and I just said, let's do this. I have to do something, and it was awesome. And I worked for AT&T. I was a corporate sales rep and a business for sales rep and a bunch of different positions. And I worked in selling like DSL and long distance and call waiting and caller ID and all that stuff. And I loved that. And I was fantastic at selling that stuff. So it was a good job and it was hard to leave. But I waited about 3 years because Glisten and Glow started in March of 2010. And so we're 15 and a couple of months right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
So thank you. Thank you.
I gotta know, like, I have a burning question whenever I hear people that they did nails before.
Yes.
So did you do like full sets and stuff? Like,
yeah. Yep, we did. I did manicures, pedicures. I did gel, linen, silk, fiberglass, acrylic, if I didn't say that. Yeah, we did everything. I did pedicures. I would be the staple at, a summer party doing toenails. Like, don't forget to
Oh,
bring your
that's
stuff to do my toes, like always,
yes.
So,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Do
And
you remember what the wackiest set, or not, I wouldn't say wacky because I love me some like it's loud in your face nail sets, but do you have one that sticks out to you like, oh yeah, that was wild?
Yes, I did a set of stiletto nails. I want to say it was like probably close to like 1999. And the nails were so long, like it was crazy. And I did them with the damask print behind by hand. And they had a whole
By
set of damask with
hand.
like French. And then they had like a French tip with a black line below. And then it was black and white damask on like the base of the nail, on the nail bed, or the nail plate, excuse me. And they loved that. And it was
Oh
so
my
cool. And I'd
gosh.
always loved the damask pattern. I just think it's elegant, it's stunning. I just love it. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's me. So I love that. And it was really cool. They were long and they were like,
I said I love it's I have like a love hate with social media. Funny because I do this, right?
right,
But
right.
it's hate the fact that it's so in your face, and a lot of it's a lot of, showboating. But I do love that we can capture moments. And gosh, I so wish we would have had cell phones and stuff then. Like I was like,
Oh,
oh,
me
I would love
too.
to see your
I've,
portfolio.
yes, I'm grateful that we didn't for so many reasons, but I so wish we did. Yes, completely agree.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I wish I had a photo. I've done a lot of cool sets, but I have to tell you the individuals that swatch today, that is some skill
Some
like
of them are
no other.
so, oh my gosh.
Amazing. I mean, you're fantastic, Trisha. Don't give yourself, don't not toot your horn because you deserve it. But yeah, and I think it's interesting how social media has played into
Yeah.
all of this. Like, never in a million years did we think we'd be like literally scrolling and seeing just nails, 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 you know?
Yes.
And that's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. I remember like, I always cite on these interviews and stuff that, I got into it because I saw something on Pinterest, and I was
Yep.
postpartum with my firstborn, and it was just I needed something to love myself again.
Amen.
And I just remember that I saw, I think there was like two or three, I don't want to say nail bloggers. I guess
Yes.
they were, bloggers at that point, but there wasn't many and stuff, but I do remember like, oh my gosh, like it was like looking at a celebrity, and
Yes.
oh my goodness, it was wild.
Mhm.
And just yeah, we didn't have a whole lot. And then yeah, you're right. Now it's like I can pull up any of my social media and I could
Yeah.
just it's just scrolling just constantly.
It's
It's
boom,
wild.
nails right there. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think like I've known Lisa from Cosmetic Sanctuary for probably close to, 14 years or so. She was one of the original people that swatched, and like it's stuff like that. Like she's seen so much of the progression of so many brands. And I think that
Hmm.
I mean, she works her tail off, and God bless her. God bless her.
Yeah.
You guys all do.
Yes.
Everybody does. I mean, there's not, but I think she's got to look back and go, oh, Maron, what I've seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because that's what I
Yeah.
say. And I was one of the first indies. It was like KB Shimmer, me, I think Island P, Enchanted, and obviously like Linderella and things like that in the beginning. And
Hmm.
there was a magazine article from Nails Magazine. It was like, meet the pioneers of
Nails.
the indie movement. And I was like, that's really cool. Like,
That
that's
is
really cool. And I wish we had those publications still, those print publications that we don't have, because that was a whole nother level to the nail polish world.
it
Because
was.
you wanted to be in that magazine so badly.
Oh my
Your
gosh,
SWAT,
yes.
right? Like, it was
Yes.
crazy cool. It was crazy cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started swatching. I mean, this was like pre-YouTube, even like a little bit before I did my Instagram. I think it was Nailed It magazine. They used to pull people's swatches and they credit them. Oh my God, talk about goals. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like I didn't have any lighting situation or anything like that, but it was like, I remember back then it was like, you made it if you
Yeah.
got into that magazine. Holy crap.
Yes. You were like, yes. You weren't even tearing it out. You were putting it out. Like you were gold
Yes.
plating it. Like it was like
Yes.
huge. Yes.
And I just remember like looking through the pages and like, especially for the feature page. And I was just like, these people are so incredibly talented. And it was all kinds of stuff. It was nail stamping, it was freehand, it was gradients. And it's just the peak of creativity. And it's kind of sad a little bit. I feel like the last 2 or 3 years we've gotten away from that. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
me, but
No,
I
we
feel like
have.
we've pulled away from nail art and now it's just and I'm not complaining,
Right.
trends come and go, but
Sure.
I just think it's so interesting. It used to be like peak level talent for swatching or blogging, whatever was, can you stamp? Can you freehand? And can you gradient like a boss?
Yep.
Like all that stuff. And now it's just so different, just how
Yeah.
the culture changes. I don't know.
Absolutely. It's indicative of change. I think COVID did so much of that also.
Yeah.
A lot of it, I saw massive growth during the first part of COVID, like when it first started, because there were so many people who, I'm a nail tech, and guess
Yeah.
what? They have to take off their nails and they don't know what to do. Like
Yeah.
they don't know how to take them off, but how to care for them afterwards and go from there. So we saw a
Hmm.
lot of new products come about. Dry and prep came about. I said, okay, let's
Hmm.
launch the pH, prep type essential. Let's, more of the control alt delete, our latex barrier for people
Yep.
who are just starting out to try to paint their nails for the first time because their amazing nail tech has done it, for so long.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's really cool to see the evolution of the product also change, and what the customer's need is. The supply and
Yeah.
demand also change. So that's the fun part too. But I agree,
But
nail art is
I,
gone.
I feel like brands like you that, I mean, I will happily correct myself if I'm wrong, of course.
Sure.
But I feel like you being the first person to do like glitter grabber, freaking game changer. Okay.
Thank you.
That coming out, your dry and prep, these little nail essential things. And I like that they're not so boisterous in their packaging and whatnot, that they can fit into a little baggie, things like that. It is very travel friendly.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of that, if that didn't happen in, say, even just the indie community, because indie community, Linderella, you guys, all that stuff, y'all paved the way for, say, things like Mooncat. It wasn't just drugstore brands anymore. Y'all
Right.
paved the way for these things. And
Big
I'll
time.
die on that hill. Like
Same.
that's true.
Same.
But
Yeah.
I feel like if y'all didn't do that, if like people like you didn't make these items, we
Mhm.
wouldn't have more of this at home DIY stuff. It's incredible to me,
And
like
it's
you
almost like
can do a
how,
salon at home.
yes, you can absolutely do that at home, or even now, if you can't go to the salon and your situation, your life majorly
Mhm.
changes, you have a way to solve that problem. Now you
Yeah.
have the tools in your arsenal to go ahead and do your manicure at home. You don't need to
Yeah.
go to the salon. And I mean, obviously, we couldn't for so long.
Yeah.
So I think that was very important. And I think, yes, Glitter Grabber is huge.
It
Top Coat
is.
is by far, obviously, our best seller. I mean,
The
there's
top
no
coat's
two
badass
ways
too.
about it. Thank
Try
you.
it if
Thank
you haven't.
Thank you.
Try it.
But Glitter Grabber, yeah, I didn't. I hadn't seen anyone doing a glitter grabber, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, let me mix this and this and this and this, and I'm like, done,
And it
perfect.
works. It works
37
beautifully.
tester bottles later,
Oh my
we were good.
goodness.
Yeah,
Well, it
long,
shows.
long. Thanks,
It shows
thanks,
because it's a great product.
thank
Fantastic
you,
product.
thank you,
I know I could talk about this stuff, but I want to move on. Oh my gosh. Like I love your energy so much. I feel like we
thank
could
you.
just let's make a podcast.
I'm game. I love it. I've got the mic. I've got the headphones. I was interviewed on two, and I really was like, I could do this because I like to talk. Like I worked at the phone company. So
Yeah, yeah.
my first picture as a baby, I have a phone rattle. So
Oh my gosh.
I've been talking since 81, as my mom says.
Can we know what podcast?
Oh, I was
Maybe
on
I'll
the
pop a link up.
Yeah, absolutely. The Melanie Show.
Okay.
And I was also on two lacquered ladies. It's Danny Shout and Fanaticure. And I was on their
Oh.
podcast, one of their initial podcasts. This was, I think, a couple years ago, even at this point. And the Melanie Show is a wonderful customer who's been with me for so long.
Oh.
I have such an amazing, like I may cry here because I get very emotional. I have such an amazing customer base that I adore. And I work so hard to put that to create like a community and a foundation to base a relationship on with someone,
Mhm.
because it's so important that you have that person that you can go to no matter what your situation is in life. That
Yep.
sometimes that could be me. You'd be shocked at the messages I get sometimes, like,
Yeah.
hey, I just need your opinion on this. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
But totally, I totally hear you. And I would love to do a podcast. I think it's so fun and so awesome.
When you make collections and stuff, what goes into that? What's the
Sure,
process for that?
sure. So I probably make nail polish different than anyone does. I, um, I don't necessarily have like a recipe always for it. Most of the polishes I make are made in like a large batch, like 2 to 5 gallons, depending on what it is.
Wow. Uh-huh.
And then we're done. And it's the run and it's done. I think I've remade maybe 4 or 5 polishes ever. I'm just like, I'm good. Next. I mean,
I
that's a lot
love
of
it.
polishes coming out of something. So, that's a lot of polishes. So it's going to last you a long time. But yeah. So, and
Wow.
I take inspiration from so many things. Like it could be art. It could be because I'm a painter. I paint and draw also. So
Ooh.
I love art. I love music. I love music. I love TV, movies. I love nature. I love outside. I love actually where I get so much inspiration is just talking to someone else and learning their story. It can grow to an inspiration for me from something.
That's
So
awesome.
that's because I love interpersonal communications major in college. Sorry. So, yes. So that's where I get
That
it from,
is
a lot of it.
I just want to say that is so refreshing to hear.
Okay.
I feel
Thanks.
like no, I feel like I have the people I speak to and stuff, and like I just feel like it's such a and especially after COVID and stuff too, it's such a shift that people don't want to talk to each other. And I feel like there's this, if it can be avoided in the conversation. And I'm one of those people, especially when I'm having, a serious conversation, especially
Yeah.
even if it doesn't have to be, detrimental.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even want to have a phone call. If I could, I'd rather see your face. I want to feel your energy. Now that's why I like about PBE so much. I email people and it's always so I mean, I'm sure you know this too. It's like I'm always like on the go, on the go, on the go. I'm sending out folders. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. My kids are screaming at me over here, and it's
Yeah.
a thousand things. And so I don't always get to sit down and talk to people. And
Hmm.
so yeah, going to like PBE and stuff, meeting the makers, the people, and everything. It's like, oh my god, I can feel your energy. I can feel
Yes.
you. Like
Totally.
so
Totally.
so different.
You're like, oh, my people are here.
Yes, because that to me it just makes more sense to me. I don't know, I'm big on energy, and
Yes.
I can
Totally.
vibe and I don't know.
Yeah.
You're going to PBE this year, right?
Yes. Yes. We're
Okay.
excited. We're all pretty much packed up. We're pretty much ready to go. I'm pumped for that. We've got, I think we have 11 or 12 boxes packed right now, and that's just polish
Oh
or
my gosh.
essentials. Because I'm so blessed. I have so many amazing helpers. Joanne and Lindsay, all of my helpers are from the Chicago area, except for one. And of course, Sharon, my better half, he's with me,
Yay.
so he's not from there.
He's
But
amazing.
thanks. Joanne and Lindsay are from Chicago, and then we have Marlene and Kristen, and then Nicolette. Nicolette's not from there, and Joanne is so gracious to every year say, Jill, we want you to come back. So I'm going to keep all of your stuff, like your lights and like this banner stuff and the
That's
displays.
nice.
I'm going to keep that for you in my crawl space in my house.
That's nice.
It's amazing. It saves me so much time, energy, and money. Like it's amazing. And she like makes an inventory, and I'm like, I love you. And I've known these women for years, and they're phenomenal. And I'm blessed. And it's like you get to see family, and I made actually one of the exclusives I made for PBE is called Nail Polish Friends Are Family, and totally the truth.
Oh,
Totally the truth. Yeah.
They are.
And it's like old home week to me. It's like, oh, like that, you know? I love it. And people may think I'm crazy because I always like to take pictures and do funny stuff. And you know what? But we're creating memories. Tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah.
Let's make some memories.
Yes.
Yep. And that's why, and Jaren's love for this business is probably the greatest gift of all. Because I think I've told Christy this from KB Shimmer. I think I've told her that I think Jaren is the most excited person to go to PBE. He legitimately loves it more than anything, has a countdown going. He thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. He absolutely loves it. And my Jaren has social anxiety, PTSD, depression, bipolar. So for him to love something like this is humongous. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's humongous, and it just shows the power of your community, right? Like your nail polish community, and how welcoming they are to not even me, but also to a male in this industry, and also just in general, you know, and it's really, really rewarding to see. And it's rewarding to see everybody. It's so nice to when I get to see you, I'm like, Trisha, I get to see everybody.
I know. And it just
so
goes
excited.
By so fast
it does.
too.
It does.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's what? I'm looking at the calendar. It's 3 weeks away.
3 weeks. Yeah, like I need to be shipping soon.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's such a great experience. And if anybody has the opportunity to attend, I mean, I cannot say enough about Polish and Beauty Expo. As a person who has done an event like this before, a group of us had a cocktails and color event that was more a press thing in Las Vegas. From coordinating something like that, this is 10 times that. And I think it's done very well. And I think it's such a great experience for people. If you want to do something fun that's outside the box, PBE is it. That's it.
100%. Even, and I agree. But not to take away from any kudo points to Jaren though, too, because I have to say, like every time I've met him, like he just embraces it. I love it. You know, and I have to say that for a lot of the other spouses and partners out there too.
Yes.
It's just because oh my gosh, they get there and you can tell at first they're a little like, but then everyone just starts talking and then it's that energy, you know.
Yes, the energy is huge. Yes.
It's so big. I love it.
And we're so pumped. This year we have the Flamingo collection is what's the big collection this year at PBE. And we have a giant blow up flamingo and like all different kinds of fun stuff. And we're actually going to play Plinko at my table. So you can come through the line and we have a Plinko and you can win something. Everything has a prize or whatever. So something fun, different.
Is it that big Plinko thing I keep seeing?
I wish it was the one from Costco. It's not. I actually got it on Amazon and I customized it a little bit, and it's a little smaller because that thing is huge and there's not that much room. So I got a smaller one, but I did look at the other one big time.
I've been eyeballing it too. Yes. I told my husband, I was like, would you be mad if I stuck that in the house?
Can we please? Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to come by and look. I want to see that. That sounds so fun.
Drop the chip in. Something different. You know, it's something different than just people are standing in a line already. Like I can only talk. I mean, I could talk to them all day, clearly. But sometimes it's just overwhelming there's a lot of people who get overwhelmed by that. So now it's giving them an activity to do. So it takes their mind off the stress of going through this big line. And, you know, it's something rewarding at the end of the day.
And it's something to look at too, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple points where especially in the first hour, I know that the PPU table is we usually have a line, right? And then I'm just sitting here people take quite a bit browsing, which fair, I'm not judging, but it just gets to a point where you're just I don't want to chat you up too much because I know you're looking, you know, and I know you want to do your thing.
Your decision making.
I know, but I'm like, damn, I wish we had a Plinko table or something. I tell Adrian and Sarah, hey, can we get a game or something?
Like roulette. They're going to play roulette over there.
Yes, like so
There you
just
go.
something
There
like
you
that.
go.
Just
Yep.
is it for people in the line too to take a peek at while they're waiting?
Yeah, something different, right? Like that's what I
That's
said.
funny. What is one of your what's one of your favorite trends that you've seen in nails? I mean like finish wise.
Finish
I
wise,
know we
yes.
always get holographics. I like creams.
Yeah,
Things like that. What's your favorite finish?
absolutely creams all day, every day. I guess that shows like my age, right? Like, I love creams. I love making creams. They are absolutely my favorite thing in the world to
Hmm.
make.
And you make
Um,
them very well.
Thank you. Appreciate
Try
that.
them.
I
Try
love,
them.
obviously, I love hollows. We had the hollow hookup for a long time. So, yeah, I love hollows too. But shimmers, I love also very much. And I really, really also like glitter crellies. I know, like, I feel like I'm one of the few people who still make glitter crellies and I
Yeah.
love them. And I get why people don't love them, but I love them.
But
And
they're
I think they're
fun.
fun. Yeah. Like,
They're especially when they're made well, like
yeah,
it's
yes,
yeah.
I love it. And you have glitter grabber. And I always say, like,
Hmm.
use the trick. Like, put your base coat on, then put a coat of glitter grabber on, then put your glitter
Ooh, I want to
crelly
try that.
polish or glitter polish on, then your glitter grabber, then your top coat. And guess what? That glitter grabber that's down below above the base coat is gonna
It's
make
gonna even it.
removing easier. It's gonna make
Ooh,
removing it easier. So if you don't have a
okay.
peel off base coat or you don't have something like that, after your base coat, put a layer of glitter grabber, let it dry, and then put your base down, put your glitter polish down or your textured polish down, and it's going to be so much easier to remove. Base
I
coat,
like that.
glitter grabber, polish, glitter grabber, top coat. You got the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich ever right there.
I love it. Oh my
Thanks.
gosh. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, that sounds
So there's a
awesome.
there's a new trend. We'll call it a trend, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
trend also, but a process that helps as well.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You're giving
Yeah.
yourself your nails that space
Yep.
between the
Absolutely.
polish.
Yeah. I love creams. I love creams because you can do like the nail art with them and the water marbling and the gradients and different things like that. But I think there is I- something so simplistic about a cream that is just you're like, mm, that's good. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah. No, it's
Like
it's
that.
palate
Yeah.
cleansing. No, I'm
Yes. It
I'm
looks
totally on that boat
clean.
with
It
you.
looks not. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
especially when it's like a really
you.
vibrant type of color, it's like, oh, it just pops so well. I don't think I've ever gotten more compliments back in when I did paint my nails for myself, more than say when I wore like a vibrant cream color. It just
Mm,
pops so much.
night and day. Yep.
And I know a lot of
And
people are like, no, I like my shimmers and my glitter.
yeah.
I'm not saying, but yeah, good cream.
And I get a lot of my customer base is not necessarily the customer base of like PPU or what other indie makers have. A lot of my customer base comes for nail care essentials. So getting them to try a special effects polish isn't going to be the first thing they're going to do. They don't want I can countless emails of this. I don't want any distractions in my polish.
Yes.
So they want a cream or a very simple finish that's wearable to wherever they're going, as
Mhm.
well. It's not, then they get into the special effects as time passes, but we segue them with the creams, you see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It's right there. It's right
Yeah.
there. Give it a try.
Yeah. Give it a try.
What is your or what has been, I should say, your favorite theme that we've done in PPU thus far?
I loved, there's so many. I love anything tropical, anything beachy, anything bright, anything fun. My favorite polish I ever made for PPU was the Gem and the Holograms was my inspiration and it was truly outrageous. And it was a glitter crelly and I might have brought it back. I don't even remember at this point, but I love that polish so much. It was such a difficult point in my life. I had a massive surgery. I was having an abdominal hysterectomy. I was in the hospital for 5 days. I thought for sure I was going to die. I thought it was going to be the best polish I
Oh,
ever made. And it was the last polish I had ever made. That's what I thought. Or because you're always like nervous, you're going to die or something. I was going
no,
in for
yeah.
major surgery. And I love that polish to this day. It was like a blue base, like a beautiful blue base with neon pink glitter glitters. I think it has white glitters too. I don't remember right off the top of my head. I should have looked at it, but and I absolutely love that polish. That was my favorite PPU I ever made. Theme wise, so I loved whatever that theme was. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was like throwback, like an 80s or 90s throwback, or it could have been cartoons. I don't know. I like that we can be very broad with our interpretation of the theme, because some of the themes I'm like, I can't relate to this. So I have to try to scale back something, So but those were some of them. I like when it's maker's choice. I like, that
Me
kind of
too.
stuff too. Yeah.
Me too. I think it's
Yeah.
it's like just to see you guys do your thing in your element. What did you pick? What's important to you? Things like that. Even if it's something silly.
Because indie
Um,
polish is so personal too. It's so
mhm.
like an interpersonal relationship that you have with the maker. Like you really love what the maker does, And I think that like if you can follow that the vibe or the energy of the maker for you,
Mhm.
Trisha, I got that. It would be, it would match that, and I think that's important. I think people get that and they vibe onto that, and that's how they you create a following, in that
Yeah.
sense. And I
Yeah.
think PPU has done an excellent job. I think Adrian and Sarah are absolute delights. I think everybody who
They
works
are.
behind the scenes at PPU are wonderful. And I think it's a great experience. And I think everyone should, try something from PPU at least once. I think it's worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know what brand you're gonna try
Yeah.
that's it. It's a
Yes.
rabbit hole.
It is a rabbit hole.
To kind of just like wrap up everything, do
Sure.
you have anything up and coming? Do you want to talk about any of your PBE stuff? Is it going to be
Sure.
available in your shop after whatever?
I'm super pumped for our flamingo collection. I love flamingos. Jaren and I went to Busch Gardens in Florida. Jaren's family is mom and brother live in Florida, so we went to Busch Gardens in Tampa, and I got to see the
Ooh.
flamingos as well and take lots of photos and be super inspired by them. So we have a 10-piece collection called the Flamingo Collection coming out with some really cute punny names like Hot as Flock, Single and Ready to Flamingo, like stuff like
Love
that.
it. Yeah.
So I love that collection, and it's a variety collection. It's got 3 creams, couple shimmers, couple flakes, couple everything.
Ooh.
And I like a variety collection, in that sense. So I'm pumped about that. We've got 2 PBE exclusives, Party Nail Polish Friends or Family and Rocking Out at Rainbow Cone, because that's like an ice cream place that's there. So those are the 2. And then there's lots of great deals. We have lots of different collabs that I've done over the years that will be there, and just a lot of like collections. I didn't bring anything. I'm not bringing anything that came out before the last PB Polish and Beauty Expo. I don't think, maybe like 1 or 2, but really not many. So it's all new stuff and fresh stuff for people's eyes, and I love that.
Awesome. Okay.
But and 7-Eleven at 6 p.m. at glistenandglow.com is the flamingo launch for
Okay.
those. And
I'm
they're a
going to put all that
fantastic,
around us.
fantastic price point. $100 for 10 polishes. That's $10 for every polish. And you can still use a 10% off code, thank you 10, and get them for $90.
Holy
So
crap.
we don't see that these days. We don't see
No,
those prices these days.
no.
So I tried everything that I could, every arsenal that I could to get the price as low as possible. And that's what we're doing.
Well, we appreciate that. And,
Anytime.
those of you new to indie polish, these are small businesses. And for them to do even like one coupon code or one buy it all, and get us a discount on it, things like that. That's very impactful to that business. So that's
Yes.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yes. Thank you. We're
Okay.
trying anything we can to help save the customer. I know it's hard. Like we don't, live crazy at all. This is my shop here. It's only about a half a mile from my house. And I'm blessed to have a great landlord that keeps the rent as low as possible for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to be here at all. So I'm blessed, very blessed.
Oh, oh,
It's great. I would
oh,
never recommend to anyone to be an indie maker, but I think you give up everything. I gave up having children. I gave up a marriage. I gave up a lot of stuff to be here. And I work very hard to keep Jaren and I afloat and keep us here every day.
that's
So, and it's
amazing.
wonderful. I love it. I love every customer. I just feel so blessed. And I love to get to talk to people like you and work with different swatchers. It's such a rewarding experience. It
It
really
is.
is. Yeah.
It is. I'm going to link Glisten and Glow in the
Thank you.
description box below if you want to check them out. And you can find Glisten and Glow through Polish Pickup. And don't forget to check out Glisten and Glow's contributions both in their shop and in the PPU shop for their rewind. I will
Yes.
throw those up around us too, so you can
Awesome.
see what's coming back. And again, thank you so much, Jill, for doing
Thank
this. I
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you, Trisha. Thank you for being a wonderful asset to our community. I appreciate your energy and your time so much. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of your day.
Oh, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.